right, we're live.
We'll see. They got that's a lot.
Movie, and she damn sure ain't in the sequel. So this is it.
Because what other Marvel movies are supposed to come out?
There's only 2 this year. It's that and the Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals. I'm very interested to see how.
Because I'm hearing like this shit's supposed to be like
out
there.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Because this is like the first real space movie. You know what I'm saying?
Outside of Guardians, yeah.
Because the Guardians, nobody really has like crazy superpowers. The Eternals are supposed to be fucking legendary type niggas.
This is where Thanos came from. Like this, So I'm interested in seeing what they do with that.
Yeah, I agree.
And also wonder like why the hell they ain't come up for Endgame if they all
We are
powerful.
definitely live.
So this is not a prequel or stuff.
Out there.
Not that one. The Black Widow is.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me check. Make sure the audio good.
Oh, it does closed caption? Holy crap.
It's gotten a lot better. It used to be bad, but it's a lot better now.
Wow, that's super dope.
We good. Yo, how we sound? We good? All right, cool. We're about to go ahead and get started. All right, y'all ready? Oh, remove those headphones for me. Get those off the table.
Well, it's not gonna.
No, you can twist it in and
The headphone jack.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot these come disconnect. Oh, you gotta twist it. Oh,
Yeah,
twist it and pull
yeah.
it?
Yep, twist and then pull out.
There you go.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get started. This is the place where sports opinions collide, dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Bienge. Joining me on this show for a sad occasion, we got FIFA 2020.
What it do?
We have Nikki Duce from the No Disrespect podcast.
What's going on?
And coming back on the show is Shelton.
Hey, Black Korea.
That was a delay like a
I know, right? Processing.
I was waiting on you to say Black Korea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
too.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all a little off our game, and then we got joining us. It's been a minute, but we got
Been a
Rod.
minute. Woo.
You talking minute is an understatement.
I know. Yeah, aka Modest Media.
What up, man?
Yeah, man. I wish you were.
Did you say
joining us?
Duce?
Yeah.
You're the first person. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, wish you would join us under better circumstances, but nevertheless, it's good to have you on the show. And I'm glad you're back, and we'll talk about that later, because you owe me an apology. But
Which one?
We'll get there. We'll get there. By now, everybody, if you're watching this show, you already know that Kobe Bryant passed away yesterday in a fatal helicopter crash, along with his daughter Gianna. Gianna, did I say that right? Gianna?
Yeah, I think so.
Gigi.
Gigi, along with 7 others. I think her teammate and their parents, along with the pilot. And I think there's one more person that hasn't been identified yet. 3.
No, it was. I want to say it was 3 little girls, the pilot, and then the parents.
Yes. Yeah. So condolences go out to everybody and to all of them. But yeah, we it caught us all off a little off guard. No one expected this. No one ever expects death, especially when it comes to somebody like Kobe Bryant. And yesterday, while we were here at the studio, FIFO and I, we recorded, a quick little 16, 18-minute just reaction to the news. And, we said we were going to come back today and get everybody here. And FIFO did mention that, he's going to try to see if Rod can come on. And he said you were wanted to come on and talk about it as well. BZ isn't with us. Unfortunately, he has something come up, so he wasn't able to join us. But
He had to work.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. He had to work, and so otherwise he would be here, and you guys know that. We're all big time basketball heads on this show, and he wouldn't miss something like this if it wasn't for something far more important. But I don't know, Nick. You got the outline, so I'll just go ahead and toss it to you, man.
I just wanted to get y'all like first reactions when y'all heard the news and like after the confirmation, because I know the first time I heard it, like my homie was just telling me like, bruh, like he just kept saying bruh, like hella like three. I was like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he got like a pregnancy test or something. But he was like, bruh, Kobe did. I'm like, what, man? He's like, TMZ reported it. I'm like, all right, bro. Like they always trying to claim somebody, whatever. But then when I was I was looking on my Twitter timeline. I kept seeing stuff. And then like from the local news in LA. And I'm like, what is going on? And then when ESPN reported it, that's how I knew it was like confirmed. And my reaction, I'm still dealing with it because it's like he was just tweeting about LeBron passing him up on the all-time list literally like 2 days ago.
Right.
And now he's like gone. And like I didn't know him, obviously, like most of us, but for some reason I'm dealing with it like he's a family member lost or somebody you used to know in high school or something like that you was probably cool with. It's just like
Because we grew up with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We grew up watching this man. I was having a conversation today about the fact that Jordan, for my generation, was I was able to see him play. You know what I'm saying? But the next generation, they didn't see Jordan. So even though Jordan is the man on the mountaintop,
Right.
they couldn't like my son, for example, he's 13. He can't relate to Jordan because he didn't watch Jordan play.
You just know the shoes.
Yeah, he know the shoes and he hear the stories. But even my nephew, my cousin, he's 20 something. He didn't see Jordan play. You see what I'm saying? But they saw Kobe. So everybody, including my generation, we have a connection with Kobe.
Yeah, he came in at a really not weird time, but like he
was next.
Like we say all the time, he's like the last of the Mohicans or whatever. So it's just like he came in at a very vital time. You know what I'm saying? He played against Jordan. He played against LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry. He played against all of these guys. So the time he came in, you know.
Yeah, and at that time in 96, like you got to think, right? Like Jordan was drafted in 84. So by the time 96 came around, this is when Jordan was starting to not fall off the horse, but it was the passing of the torch.
Yes.
And before Kobe in that 96 draft, who wasn't? It was nobody, because you're talking about Charles Barkley. Like all of the greats were leaving the game as Jordan was leaving the game.
Right.
So Kobe came in.
The same thing happened with Jordan too, because when Jordan came in, they passed the torch to Jordan.
Exactly.
The Magics and the Birds.
Exactly.
And stuff
They passed it to Jordan.
Kobe did the same thing basically.
And it's even more direct than that, because what you're saying is exactly right. But it was Magic, just Magic, to Jordan.
Right.
Just Jordan to Kobe, just Kobe. You see what I'm saying? Even though those great players,
right?
I wouldn't even consider him great. He's an icon. They're just different.
No, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and then from Kobe to LeBron, these players, like we got great players in the league. We got Anthony Davises and the other players, you know, that are great. But it's not about just basketball with these people.
It's impact.
Yeah.
Kobe had that. Kobe was so impactful so early on that the man started on an all-star team that didn't start on his own team. How crazy. Often does that? Like that doesn't happen,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So Kobe was super impactful, and Kobe, and I have to say AI too. They kind of ushered in new basketball moves. You know what I'm saying? That wide crossover that got people leaning one way. Who did it before those two? Right. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then you add that new flair with a lot of the MJ moves. Like who is this 19-year-old? Who is this 17-year-old?
Not just MJ. He was just Frankenstein with his basketball moves. He'll take something from Dirk. He'll take something from
he got older. Yeah. When the young Kobe was
I was just talking about holistically his career.
But see, here's the thing. Like I said, we grew up with Kobe, and what I mean by that is we saw Kobe come in as a little scrawny little kid playing with grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? So we watched him grow. We watched him go from being a scrawny six man who, couldn't really make these shots. And my brother was saying that to me earlier today. Like he couldn't do everything that the Kobe,
24.
Yeah. 8 couldn't do everything that 24 could do.
But 24 couldn't do what 8 was doing either.
Right. but I'm saying, like, we watched him evolve. We watched him go from this potential to the man to the next phase, which was the man that was the elder.
And we always saw it though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We always saw it was there. In his early years.
So before we keep going like with our Kobe stories, I want to go around the room and just kind of ask where everybody was. Like, Nick, you kind of started. Your homie was hitting you up. Shelton, where were you? What were you doing when you got the news?
Bro, the crazy thing is I'm a writer. I'm a songwriter, and I got to work with a team. And we were in the process of doing a huge project we're working on, and one of the guys from Black Korea texted and was like, Kobe died. I'm like, who we know together named Kobe? Because your first thought wasn't Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
It's like, what dude do I know named Kobe? Like, who is Kobe?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I said it to my brother. I was like, yo, Kobe died. My brother writes with me too.
Yeah.
And he was like, huh?
Wow.
And so I looked down, and this was before it was on the news. This, this was like instant, TMZ time. So I looked it up, and like I said, I was like, this ain't true. We all think Wayne was dead. All these people have died, according to the media. So I'm like, man, this can't be true. So when the report started happening, the crazy thing is, like I said, it was a super important session. The session just stopped. It was like, we done. It's over. So it was super. It was like somebody close to you passed away. It was just unbelievable.
And it was crazy to me because everybody, like, I'm texting like homies, like, and not even just men, just women too who like basketball. They texting me talking about some like, bruh, this dude gone, like, and it's in a way where it's like you could get emotional quick, and people was talking about saying you got to talk to your loved ones, make sure they know you care about them and stuff. It was like, this is just not to say he was just a sports athlete, but to anybody who wasn't a big basketball fan, to them, he may just be like, oh, I know who Kobe is because he played basketball, but outside of that, he's just an athlete. But it seemed like he touched a lot of different people, a lot of different generations, differently than any other. Because we've seen David Stern just passed away, not too long ago. Yeah. But even then, it don't feel the same.
But we also knew that David Stern was sick. So at some point, and that's the thing, that when we lose people too early, right? Like when my grandma passed last year, I knew she was old. It hurt like a motherfucker, but I knew her time was coming. So it eases it a little bit, right? But like Nipsey, like initially I took it harder because it's like, bro, like you're not supposed to get shot in the head inside your own block. Right. Kobe ain't supposed to die on a helicopter when he's been taking a helicopter with his kid.
And that killed it too.
That's 100%.
That was just crazy to me that his daughter, and then you see all the memes and the videos, like it's like, bro, like his daughter was, I understand.
Like that, it was just like big news how he was talking to her on the sideline.
This
just happened. Like, you know what I mean?
Sent
like
that to my daughter.
Yeah.
And like he's 41. Like you already think like that's young, but she's 13. Like she, like, at least he had a life that he lived that you could reminisce about. Like with her, like she don't even know who she is yet.
And like my mom said, we were praying that they weren't on that plane, because you remember initially they didn't say anybody else. But I'm like, please
they said I saw a report that said all 4 of them.
Man, it didn't even register. Well, I'll wait till y'all get to me.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it didn't even just. Yeah, I'll go back to that, but I just answering your, and we'll piggybacking on what you're saying. It didn't even register that any other family members was on a plane.
Right.
But I start here though. It's crazy because FIFO and I was just talking about how I'm not on Dead End Sports. Remember we just had this conversation in the studio, and like I just don't have time. Like, you know what I'm saying, I'm into sports, you know what I'm saying, but I just don't have time to watch it like I used to when I was younger or whatever. That's like the only reason I'm really not on the show. And plus I was producing in the early stages of Dead End Sports. But so it's just crazy that this situation is like forced me to come on here after we just had this conversation. I was just like, wow, I know I'm gonna probably be on Dead End Sports because everybody know I'm a big Kobe fan. So I'll just start there. So then it was after we left the shoot on Sunday, and I had to take my daughters to a birthday party, like a kids function. And we had just arrived. We had just parked, and as I was parking, I think FIFO, you text me. Yeah, did you text me, right?
I texted you.
FIFO text me, and I was just like, nah. I didn't have the chance to have a reaction like you because it was like a news headline or whatever. So I was like, oh, I know this is Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? So I was just in disbelief, and I still am today. Like I don't like, my emotions is all over the place. Like it's really like all over. I really still can't process it. This is the first time I'm even talking about it publicly. I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't been on anything. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna come on here, because I just don't. My emotions, it's like I'm dead inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I don't even know how to process this whole thing, and then with everything else attached to it, I'm just like, yo, what is really happening right now? But yeah, FIFO texted me. I was in it, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go inside this kid function with this information.
Right.
Like I'm like, I have to go here. I'm already here. I've already made plans. My daughters are here. They want to go to this. Now I gotta find a way to put on a happy face as I'm going inside this party. So yeah, it was really weird. I'm around a whole bunch of kids and stuff like that when I got this news. You know what I'm saying? I really just wanted to be home. I just really just wanted to lay down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to lay down, and I wanted to be close to my family. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be just chilling. Like I just didn't want to even think about this. Yeah. I couldn't believe it, man. Still can't.
Hey, let me ask you, what do you think? Why is it that way for you?
What you mean?
You personally, what about it makes you so
like in disbelief?
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just it's Kobe Bryant. It's like the man. I'm a huge fan. I see like how positive he is. Like we have a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like when you think so positive, it's like how could something like that happen to somebody that thinks so positively about life? You know what I mean? Like you have so many people in this world that think so negatively about things, but this man puts a positive spin on everything. He works hard at what he does. He looks like a family man. He looks like a guy that loves his kids, his wife. I mean, he looks like an ideal.
He was the example.
Yeah, example of someone good. It's kind of like when wasn't Princess Diana? Was it when she passed? Yeah, it was like what? Princess Diana, and she was young. Like it was like what is happening?
And
right
it's
now?
The tragic death that's a part of it.
Yeah,
too.
and that too. It's like on a like you want somebody like Kobe Bryant or somebody that have done good in this world. I mean, we know he's done things, but we think about somebody that's just been perfect and they die like that or whatever. Yeah. We want to see them like die on their deathbed and they
as an old person. You know, like I always thought Kobe was gonna be Bill Russell. Being around the game. Being there at finals, being there
straight up. Because I used to joke about the beard. I was like,
he was starting to get to that point.
And you saw like to me the most interesting part of his career was what he was doing like after he retired. 100%. Because like he got the Oscar for that short.
That's what I'm saying.
He was becoming
he was more open. Yes, and we got to see the parts that made Kobe who he was, because when he was playing, he was callous, he was cold. Yes. I don't give a damn about anybody else if you got exactly. Yeah. He was a villain. He embraced it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because look, a snake isn't a friend. Yes. Mamba, that one of the most, that's not a friend. That bro, I'm gonna kill you on this court. Right. And I want to take it to a different perspective when it comes to Rod. So like me and Rod got like major history. You know what I'm saying? Like we shit, bro. Like I've known you going on, like 15 plus years now. And when me and Rod first met, like the reason why we bonded was over basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you the first moment that happened. So his now wife, Naomi, she was in a situation where she was trying to purchase her home. And I think that everything was going according to plan. And I think we were celebrating her birthday. Okay. Right, and we went way the hell out there in Gwinnett somewhere. It was like a Dave and Buster type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I actually met or I saw like a childhood friend there that Naomi knows, and I was like, "Yo, like this is crazy." But in there, Dave and Buster has like a real regulation size rim and basketballs, and I was shooting. I was killing. How I does. And Rod was like, "Oh, you hoop?" And I'm like, "Nigga, you hoop?" You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it started. And obviously we worked together. So like after like a week or two after that, we created this thing called Big Ballin' Friday.
And we was balling hard. Don't play that day.
Because we was young. Bro, we was going in. I took off my long shirt. I took off my stuff.
Yep.
Like
it can get serious.
It gets serious.
I caught cramps.
I
literally caught cramps. We went hard.
It was like we was hooping inside of Dave and Buster. Like it was the craziest thing. But once we actually got to the court, You know what I'm saying? And just getting to know him more, because like at this point in time, I only known him like a couple months. So getting to know him more, like Kobe was his guy. And when I tell you that this guy's a lockdown defender right here, you know what I'm saying? It made sense that Kobe was his favorite player because, y'all hear it, and Nick and his boys always be talking hella shit. But I'm
setting up that match, by the way.
We are. I'm a point guard's point guard. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you give me 4 trash players. Even if we lose, we're gonna be competitive. I raise the level of play of everybody around me. Anytime he played on the opposite team, it didn't matter if there was somebody bigger. It didn't matter if somebody else was killing. It did not matter. He guarded me because he was like, look, if I can slow you down,
I gotta kill the head, like, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I gotta meet him at half court. Yep. I knew what all I had to do to make it harder for him. You know what I'm saying? Because if I let him get past in the half court, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They gonna score. They gonna score.
Yeah, we was gonna get some. So I tell you this, man. I've played a lot of basketball. I played against a lot of people, friends, and people I don't even barely know. But Rod is definitely one of the toughest people that I've ever had to play with or against on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? Like that Mamba mentality. Oh, that man has it. Yeah. And I'll put it to you like this: like you've known him for a little bit now. That now you're part of the Dead End Sports family. You've known him a little bit. Obviously, me, Ken, and Rod known each other for this man is one of the most gentle people. Like I've never heard him raise his voice. I've seen him raise his daughters. I've seen him in precarious situations, and he handles himself. Out of almost everybody I know, I think he has the most grace out of everybody I know. I'm not even, bro. And you know that. Like I be giving you all those type of compliments. Yeah. But on that basketball, that's a different person. Yo, totally. I remember the first time that he was guarding me. And I think I called like a travel or a foul or something on him, and he flung the ball. He started cussing me out. I said, I was scared. And he could tell you, I don't back down from nobody. I'm too short to back down from people. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was like, yo, like, okay, this is a whole.
And I treated everybody like that. It wasn't just, it wasn't personal.
Nah, it wasn't
everyone like that. It could be a totally. I'm surprised I ain't got shot by this, because I done said some disrespectful shit to some people. But again, that grace comes in. Like I might say something disrespectful for you, I'll pat you on the back like a couple plays later. You know what I'm saying? That's just how
it was, just in the moment. But still, like that's when I, just me and Rod just kind of connecting just over the years. Like I know how much of an impact Kobe has had on his life, and not just from the basketball court, but outside of that.
And like I said, I didn't even realize it. Until this moment. Like, dang, man, like
you've adapted a lot of that.
Yeah. And it's crazy too. A couple of things about that is, one, he was immortal to a lot.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't see death for him.
Right. He looked healthy. Saw it. Yeah, he looked healthy. He's in good shape. It's like, what?
And you know what? Nick Wright earlier today made an amazing point, right? Like when you look at the history, we're talking the entire history of the NBA. The entire history of the NBA. There's only 2 before Kobe dead MVPs. One, Will Chamberlain, right? We know, and then he was in his 60s when he passed. Right. And then the other one was Moses Malone. He was also in his 60s when he passed. Right. Every other MVP is still alive, including Bill Russell.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So when you put that into context, Kobe, like this is way too early for Kobe.
And man, and that's what I was thinking too. Like putting it into context, like you were saying when I saw Jerry West.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, this man is 81. Kobe was 41. This man is half his age, and talking about him passing. It was just like the most bizarre thing I saw.
And Magic always called Kobe like the greatest Laker.
Yeah, he's always said that. Yeah,
and
well, he's a salesman, so I know he believes it, but I'm just saying.
Sheldon, you brought up the point where like this is like probably one of the worst sports tragedies ever, or something like that. I was thinking like when Magic came out on that press conference and said I got HIV or AIDS and I got to quit basketball, I'm feeling like, wasn't that a moment too? Like,
it was not like this.
People thought like he was gonna die like very soon.
No,
we did.
Yeah, back then AIDS was death sentence. So
right.
And this was Magic Johnson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like before Kobe.
But even with that though, we have a chance to prepare for that. This man has come out and said I have HIV, which can end up in death. You know what I mean? But this just happened all of a sudden.
Snap of a finger.
Like, I just did not believe what FIFA was sending me. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? And I didn't know what your plans were, and I didn't mean to like mess it up.
It's fine.
But out of everybody I know, you are by far the biggest Kobe fan.
No,
so I was like, I knew this, so I had to share it. And I know the people that in sports, they kind of know, so I kind of speak for Ken and myself a little bit. But like where we were here, and we finished shooting, and the Low Mid podcast started to shoot their podcast. And in the middle of their podcast, like I was telling Shelton before we got on the camera, was my wife, if she needs to contact me while I'm shooting, she'll text me. So when she called, I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? You know, this is not normal for her. So I took the call outside, and when she told me, I'm like, Kobe who? She's like, Kobe Bryant. And she was crying. You know what I'm saying? She was Kobe. I'm like, yo, what? Like, nah. So she started sending me the articles, and I was like, yo, this is nuts. So at that moment, the first person I talked to was Ken. And I was like, yo, Ken, like, Kobe passed. He's like, huh, whatever. And as soon as he started to kind of gather his thoughts, his wife called him. You know what I'm saying? So he took the call outside of the studio as well. And then I told the Low Mid podcast, and like their reaction was crazy.
Yeah, y'all got to listen to that live. I left it in. I didn't take it out. Y'all can actually hear them react to the news.
And I was wondering if they were here when that happened.
Yeah, and I had like I felt compelled to tell any and everybody.
I had to like to your point about him being a Kobe fan. Like I had to call Rod. Yeah. You know, and I called him, and like we didn't really even say much.
Right. It wasn't nothing to say. When you called, I already knew. Yeah. I was like, yo, man. Yeah. Like, I didn't even say hello. I didn't even say hey, and then I was like, bro.
You know, that's the crazy part about almost every conversation that I had regarding Kobe is like as soon as you saw who it was calling, you already know what they was calling for.
It was like, and I'm sorry I had to step. That was my mom that called, so I take that call, especially after everything that happened. But yeah, it was. I felt the same way when Nipsey passed. Like I had to call Ralph, you know, because I know he was a big fan, and you know, in certain situations, like you know, I'm you know, we talked on this to Mike Stallone about calling versus texting, whatever. Situations like that, man, it's like, nah, I gotta talk to my brother, man.
Nah, for sure.
You know, because
I appreciate y'all.
I realized that, you know, I don't have anybody like that I'm gonna stand for like that anymore. So I would imagine maybe Wade, if Wade was to pass or something like that. But
I used to like
Clyde Drexler.
Not Clyde, but Akeem. Akeem. But I thought you liked Tracy McGrady.
Oh yeah,
that was your guy for a while.
But it's to your point. Like you're prepared. Yeah. So it wouldn't come as a shock. Like we were just getting used to the new Kobe.
No, for sure.
And this was reminding me very much of kind of going back to what you were talking about. Like when everybody found out, you obviously think Prince. You obviously think MJ. I would think. Speaking for most people, the world stopped.
Yes,
the world stopped.
Twitter broke
yesterday.
Because I remember
Twitter broke.
Oh really?
Yeah. Wow. Twitter wasn't working. Yeah,
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because I remember when because FIFA, you asked like where were y'all at? Like I remember where I was at when I heard Michael Jackson died and Prince died, and it's like those things is like, again, these are people that I don't even know, not related to me any kind of way, but they've impacted my life somehow, some way tremendously. Like I either grew up listening to them or watching them. And
Prince was the last one. Yeah,
it was. Prince was the last one. It still didn't have the same effect though, did it?
What?
As Kobe. For you, did it?
No, I feel like Kobe's is a little bit more deeper because more people were within this. It wasn't just one person. It was like it's a tragic accident, and then all of a sudden you hear about, like, I'm thinking more about his wife and the rest of his kids right now than.
And again with Prince, because Ken and I were at his last concert. He was older. Yeah. One. Second, we knew he was sick before because he had missed the initial show we were supposed to go to.
Yeah.
He missed that one because he was sick, and so he came to this one, and he looked like he wasn't in his tip top shape, but he still performed his ass off. You know what I mean? So when we heard he was sick, it was like, okay, that still kind of prepared you a little bit. You know what I mean? So when I heard he actually died, I was like, oh snap! So I instantly thought about when he was already sick, and I was thinking about the concert he was at, like how he did like 8 encores or something crazy. Right. So yeah, man. So I was just like, man, like it wasn't as a shocker. It still was sad, obviously, right? But it wasn't as shocking as this.
It wasn't.
It was as shocking for me, only because we had just been at the show.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, what?
Yeah.
And you think about what could have been. I think what and this was like the day after. Like I was just talking to my wife. I was getting ready for that morning, and I was on Twitter, and I was just talking to her about Kobe, and just how I admired how he went into his retirement with grace, and how he's reaching back, and how he's celebratory of LeBron. Like he didn't have to do any of that, like to congratulate LeBron.
Right.
And we were just talking about just him being mature and a competitor on the field, but a brother off the field.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about Kobe.
Yeah, he was saying the idea that it's juvenile. Like, why would I not big this guy? Why would I not want him to push the game further? Or even, you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
But it's interesting because I think that he was the first of the modern era to actually do that. Because when you look at Michael Jordan, he didn't necessarily. He still doesn't embrace.
He's reluctant.
He doesn't give everybody their props. Do you see how he still talks about LeBron? Like who, the other number 23? Like he doesn't embrace.
His PR people write those tweets.
He's very competitive. Let me say
but
that.
so was Kobe.
Well, the way they talk about MJ is like he's insane.
No, 100%. But still, so was Kobe. Took a big page out of MJ's
But like
book.
Kim was saying, like on the court, yes. Off the court, he'll still show you love. Off the court, MJ
is the same person off.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He is. And
that.
there are plenty of stories about that. But Q, I was just talking to Q. I hit up Q yesterday too, and I was talking to him, and I think I kind of understand a little bit more. It's just a generational thing. MJ is from that competitive, I got to work hard, I got to get it how I live, I got to do it whatever means.
Right.
I don't care who's in my way. This generation, why it's so different for them is that it's the one thing that I want us all to be. Like, I'm going to reach back and I'm going to bring you with me.
Yes.
That's what this younger generation, the millennials, that's what y'all are doing. And, because I'm from the older generation, I kind of look at that and be like, nah, y'all got to go against each other, whatever. Instead of flipping my mentality and be like, nah, that's what you're supposed to do. Cause like you're supposed to celebrate in each other's victories.
Y'all talked about MJ not doing it, and I understand the comparison because like we're talking about icons at this point. But I remember Hakeem Olajuwon, like he was helping out Kobe back in the, with his post game, and he was always he tried to help out Dwight Howard. Like he was one of the ones. Like obviously he's not at the level of MJ, but he's one of the ones from that era that was like, I'm gonna give back.
Yeah,
but that's because Kobe initiates that stuff. He asks questions. He went to them and like, yo, man, you're the greatest person to do this. How and why did you do that that way?
And I liked how he also again embraced the younger generation too, like Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving. Like those are the ones that I'm also thinking about them too. Like I just saw a video of Kyrie just like almost in the league. And he's he was trying to talk USA basketball team when talking to Kobe, and it's like, and that's his biggest like idol at that point. Like I'm playing you and talking shit to you, and it's just like, damn, bro, like
just the whole Kyrie Irving thing. Because I remember in that USA basketball practices, Kyrie was getting everybody work. But that season when they came back, you know what I'm saying? And during that USA basketball, Kyrie was like, yo, I'll give you $100,000. Like, you can't lock me up. And then they came back in that season and Kobe shut that man down. And Kyrie's one of those people that you can't lock down. And Kobe locked him down. You know what I'm saying? So that just
put it in perspective.
100%.
And his brilliance was just transcendent. The thing about Kobe that I remember the most, I used to work for Foot Locker, and I won a trip to Nike headquarters, and I met with the president of Nike, President Jordan. The one thing that I learned from talking to these people directly was that they said that at this time, about 10 years ago, they said that LeBron, his requirements were simple. He had to have the gym at a certain time. They had a special gym. As long as his gym was available, he was straight. Some of the guys would come out there, they want to have a good time. They want to see everything. But Kobe sat in every meeting. Kobe knew every number. Kobe knew names. He knew names of malls, his merchandise. Like he was like, the president of Nike told me directly, Kobe knows your mall. I worked in South DeKalb. He was like, he knows South DeKalb. He knows the numbers to your store. Kobe was so in-depth and had so many people's respect. And this was then, you know what I'm saying? They all respected him to another. They was like, he's on another level.
And also his knowledge of the game. I think I was reading something on The Athletic where it was like he was a legend because he respected every generation.
Yes.
Like he would always you could tell he was that type of dude. Like his home theater was nothing but tape
Oh,
of just
100.
everybody
100.
doing everything back from
Yeah.
ABA days till now. And it's just like he know, like you said, he knew the names of everybody.
Yeah.
He probably could name you every NBA champion and that whole squad. Like,
You know, you talking about tape. I remember a Kobe story where he was talking about when his game kind of evolved and took like that proverbial next level. And he said is when Phil Jackson came into the fold, and it was primarily Tex Winter, because when he used to watch film, he watched just him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tex is like, nah, you gotta watch the whole game.
You're missing.
You're missing the context of the game. Like, right? Like, because if you're just watching your takes, right? Like your shots, your defensive takes, you're missing why you did certain things.
Right.
And that was the genius of number 24 Kobe, is that he started to understand the entire game so he can dissect you. Okay, this is what you're trying to do. This is how you're trying to do it. This is the reason why I'm gonna take this shot. You know, it was just the maniacalness of who Kobe became as a basketball player. And you saw that in his later stages of his career. And then, you know, I think is the crazy part, it culminated with that 60-point performance in his last game. And he took 50 shots, by the way. He took, that only Kobe could do that. You know what I'm saying? But the way, because I remember watching that game, and I also earlier today, you know, I was watching all of the sports shows and all of that, and Skip Bayless was talking about how, you know, in Kobe's early career, like all of those air balls against Utah, who was the team? What was the last team he played against? So everything always comes full circle, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And think about that game. He didn't start that game off good. He struggled like he did in those playoff games when he was a 19-year-old, and he came back and he finished it off like Mamba did.
Yeah. And what makes him different, man, is Kobe is when talent meets brilliance meets determination. It's so hard to get those three things to line up. You got some of the talented people, most talented people in the world who don't have the competitive fight.
Exactly, and that's always been part of my arguments when it came to best players and stuff. In that game, you just can't get that.
And his perception from the public went up and down too, but he was the only consistent. Like people, like remember early, like I was saying early on, people loved it or like were starting to love him. Then in the
Colorado,
then after the Colorado Shaq situation, people started hating him. And then after he came back with the Paul Gasol era, people loved him again. It was just like he was up and down, and you saw this man grow as a human being.
Nah, for sure.
And
somebody that makes mistakes, try to fix them.
But he was always determined to be great at his craft.
It's a real story. It's a real life human story. You know
And what hurts me is we won't get to see what he was. Well, we still may hopefully see some of it, but I think he had something great in the work.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I was saying. Like people was talking about, like the way he was breaking down certain games. Like what was this thing called Kobe's?
I know
details. Yeah, like just hearing him talk, and he had a great voice for it too. Like when that Spike Lee joint he did doing work, where he broke down how he does a game. Like it's just. There's just certain things like again like
that joint was good.
I always rooted against him because during his time I was a Boston Celtics fan because I'm a Rondo fan. And like I always hate him because he would always get the shot off, but you always respected him because
that's
of that.
how I was with Jordan. Like that's how I was with Jordan. I respected Jordan, but I hated him because he always used to beat the teams that I like. You know what I'm saying? The Sean Kemps of the world and all that, man. I was rooting for those guys.
Sean Kemp.
It was always so weird with Kobe, my Kobe journey, because I think about like, you know, we heard about Kobe growing up. Kobe is 2 years younger than I am. He's the same age as my brother. And I remember we heard about this kid from Philly, and that's before we even had social media or anything like that. So you knew if we heard about you, you were nice.
This is in Mississippi.
This is in Mississippi.
Meridian.
Yep, this is in Mississippi. Wow. So he came in, and you eventually see him play 7 points, whatever, his first year, and then you saw him grow and mature, and then he was very clean cut. And it felt like he was putting on airs, like it really wasn't who he was. Yeah. And I think he was just managing his brand. When the Colorado shit happened, that's when Kobe became real to me, because he got rid of all of that. I don't know if you guys remember, but right after that, he started to get the tattoos. He started to dress different. He finally settled into who he was as a person.
It grew him up.
You're right. He became more transparent at that point too. Like, that's what I love.
Because when people threaten the things that you love, you're like, fuck the world. I know that's what's important to me.
And on top of that, like especially like for all that I've done for basketball up to that point too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
And he didn't really do anything. He was just playing the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a lot of contributions outside of
Right.
just being a great player.
No, absolutely.
No, I'm saying up to that Kyle Lowry point, like they won championships. Like he felt that he should have gotten more. I think he should have felt like he got more support, benefit of the doubt, and people just turned.
Oh, so
on
you're talking
him.
about the Shaq?
Yeah,
Kobe beef.
that all that. It's just like no one really ever cared to hear his side of the story.
Right.
You know, because I think people love Shaq more than they did
Shaq,
Kobe.
Yeah,
Shaq was
100%.
a philanthropist. He was funny, all that stuff back then. So Shaq was the big lovable hero for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
And Kobe was the villain. So he lost from the beginning with that. So
Yeah,
you're right.
And Shaq was always a polarizing entity because even think about Shaq's tenure with Penny. You know what I'm saying? Penny was the quiet guy. They had to create a whole alter ego for Penny to be able to compete with Shaq, and Shaq just usurped everything that Penny was.
Right.
And then he came into the Lakers.
I
and
think
it's
Lakers is what changed Shaq.
100%.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at first, you know what I'm saying? Like it was Shaq's team.
He was
and Kobe hated
he's
that.
exactly what Embiid is now.
100%.
He just his personality, his charisma, his everything about him. For whatever reason, it's just bright as hell, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why him and Ben Simmons having issues.
You know, what I think one of the Kobe moments that like my respect went out to him. Like I've always respected Kobe. I used to love Kobe when he first came in, and then I kind of didn't like him anymore. But then I started to like him again. So I was part of that wave that you were talking about. But I think the like one of the moments that solidified me was, and I knew Kobe was tough, but I always thought AI was arguably the toughest just because of his size. But when Kobe ruptured his Achilles,
I was gonna mention that.
and walked to the free throw line, shot 2 free throws, and then walked off. Think about how many Achilles injuries we see. They out.
And
Oh hell no! Come cart me, come get me.
This
and
is-
he, man, come
This
on.
is all within like a 15-minute period. Like he ruptured his Achilles. He got fouled though. He knows he got his Achilles is busted. He still goes out there. He comes out because they took him to the locker room. Then he come right back out.
No. So what happened was when it happened, he laid on the floor. He was rubbing it like, man, what the hell going on? He got up.
He knew, yeah.
Yeah, he knew, but obviously the mentality was, hey, I'm gonna shoot these free throws because I'm still playing this game. He shot the free throws. Then they went to the bench. He talked to Gary Vitti, which was the trainer for forever with the Lakers. They was rubbing on it, and then he still walked to the locker room. Like he walked with a torn. Do you understand what happens to your body? Like, bro, your calf muscle rose up into your leg, and he walked. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I don't think that there's anybody more mentally tough because that's a mentality. That's because you have to overcome physical pain. And just think about
like
how
some
long
Zen shit.
that is some
Yeah,
Zen shit.
yeah.
And then just remember when he had the torn rotator cuff in your shooting shoulder, not your opposite shoulder that you don't use, your shooting shoulder. And we know that this guy shoots with a lot of because he shot line drive, man. Like Kobe's mentality, man. Like I don't think we'll ever see anybody close to that on a basketball court anymore.
You don't think LeBron is close?
Nope.
Nah.
I think LeBron is great in his ways. But you know, and I said it earlier not this year, but late last year, when I came to the conclusion, you know, for as long as I've been saying it, like LeBron was the best basketball player, but I came around and said that MJ's the GOAT because, and the only thing that separates him, because I still think LeBron, when we look at attributes, is the best basketball player to ever play, right? He checks the most boxes. But what separates these guys? Mentality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Jordan and Kobe were both stone cold killers, and when you see LeBron in those
He's not a
moments,
killer.
he's not that guy.
And he teases
Kyrie got it.
And he teases
Kyrie got it,
and
of
LeBron
course.
teases it too. Because remember that Boston Celtics game 6 in the playoffs when he was with the Heat.
45, 15,
Yeah,
and 5.
He just came out and started dominating. And it's like, all right, we going to see more of that.
Yeah.
And we never did. It was always one
Not
off.
consistent.
I don't think
They're just different players.
I
Man.
don't think Kyrie has it.
Kyrie got it.
Yeah.
I think Kyrie is just
Kyrie
super
got it.
talented and selfish at the same time.
Nah, he got the mentality.
I mean,
He got Mamba.
They
He
said
just
Kobe.
don't have the
They said
size.
Kobe was selfish too. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying if Kyrie had it though, he would be able to spread that. He's not making it people.
Kobe
around
wasn't
him.
able to
No,
spread that.
Kobe wasn't either.
Kobe did bring those guys to his level. Paul Gasol.
Paul Gasol was an all-star by himself.
Yeah,
He
before
was
that.
good, but he made
was a
everybody
20
around
player.
him better.
You know what the difference is between Kyrie and Kobe? About 4 inches, 5
Yeah,
inches.
he don't have the size.
I just don't.
That's
I
what she
just
said.
don't.
Because think about what Kobe said. I want to say it was either early this season or last season. He said the only reason why Kyrie isn't the MVP of the league is because he's damn short. He was like, he's the most unstoppable person in the NBA.
I think Kyrie's unstoppable. I agree with that. I just don't think he's a killer like that.
I thought Westbrook did.
Somebody mentioned that him in the chat.
Oh, really? Yeah. I thought I used to say Westbrook all the time. I don't know if y'all remember that. I used to say Westbrook, man.
He's a fierce competitor.
He's just maniacal. Like Westbrook is like, Westbrook plays basketball like if he was still in the hood.
Yes.
Yeah. Westbrook plays basketball like a defensive end.
100%.
Endless motor. I'm
Yep.
always coming.
Always coming.
Yeah. So
if he could refine it more, he would be more like a Kobe or a Jordan. But he's
wild.
Yeah, he's wild with it.
The last question I got for you about Kobe is it's just the conversation when people you were talking about GOATs, and it's like we go from MJ and then it's just LeBron. As far as the conversation been lately, even when Kobe was playing towards the end, why was he overlooked so much? I know the main reason people say is like I know what Kobe Bryant is. I've seen better. Like I've seen MJ. He's the better that's the better version of what Kobe is.
I think what his knock was, a huge knock, was having Shaq there early. I think those early championships it was Shaq's team, so I think that kind of hurt him because he had, Jordan never had anybody ever better than him on his own team ever, never.
LeBron the same way.
Whereas Kobe, we know for a fact that Shaq was 1. He was 2. Even if only for a minute. But looking back and after hearing some stuff and thinking about it, he grew to be number 1. So in saying that puts him back on the list for me. You know what I'm saying?
But also,
what's your actual question?
My question is just like why isn't it MJ, Kobe, LeBron? Why do we just go from MJ to LeBron?
Because this is what I think. I think it's because he's not quite Jordan. It's like he tried to do what Jordan did. He did do it very well.
He was one ring off.
It's not about the rings. It's not about the rings. It's just the fact that he's emulating Jordan. So it's just like we already have Jordan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think that kind of knocks him down for people because of that, and I guess like the numbers too, the efficiency, late in his career.
The only number that because I'm one of those people, right? Like I'm definitely one of those people. The only number, and it's not rings or none of that.
Yeah,
it's that from day one, Kobe wasn't Kobe. From day one, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Yeah. Michael Jordan came into the league, bro. He was averaging 25, 27 points a game. Yes. LeBron, day one, was 25, 5, and 5.
Right.
Kobe wasn't. Kobe had to get to that point. So it doesn't necessarily diminish his greatness, but he wasn't as great from the moment. But you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
For me.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you go in and out. Yeah.
No, I just think it's still weird though, and I brought it up on this show a few times about why they don't talk about Kobe
it's
enough.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make
really
sense.
And not even
weird.
not talk about it. They shit on him lightweight. Like
I
never
shitted on him. It was just like I felt that
I spent almost a year or two arguing putting Kobe in the top 5 versus this guy.
But whoa, so you're saying I never had Kobe in the top 5?
I kept check the tape.
Check the tape.
I'm messing with you.
I'm about to say, no, come on now. All my credibility is gone if I don't put Kobe in the top 5 now.
But what are you about to say, Rod? You were going to respond to FIFA.
I've always disagreed with FIFA on that point because, like, I always look at it like Kobe took the road, I guess, not less traveled, but more traveled, I guess, because he had to, like you said earlier, he had to play against people that were already better than him. Like you said, when Jordan came in, he didn't have that competition. So I think because of that, Kobe was trying so hard to be the number one guy when it's like, yo, just give it time, and he was just moving too fast. He was moving fast, and he was moving too fast, basically. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that happened, and don't get it twisted. Like we still saw like glimpses,
of
like
course.
him checking Jordan, him taking Jordan, all of these things. So we still saw it. He just wasn't the Bryans and the Jordans because of what was going on in his establishment. Like you said, he didn't even start.
Yeah, I know.
People thought he should have started though.
You got to remember that LA team have 4 All-Stars. You talking about Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Shaq, and Kobe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it. And then even when me and Ken did the little thing right after we found out, like one of the craziest stories, like Rick Fox was saying some years ago when, Kobe was a rookie. And in preseason games, he would, obviously a lot of players don't play a lot, especially when you're going to be part of the rotation. Right. Kobe didn't play a lot in preseason, right? And, he would have a stretch where maybe he scored like 8 straight and had 15 for the game. And when he would come back to the bench, he would tell Rick Fox, like, hey, bro, I could have went for 60 tonight. Rick Fox looking at him like, sit your little, you're 17, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But obviously, Kobe always had that supreme confidence. Yeah. I just think that realistically, like when you go back, right, talent is not hard to spot. Yes. We knew Kobe had the talent. My thing is that he just was not ready from day one. And to me, when we're talking about passing of the torch, right, the greatest of the great are ready when, and obviously I'm putting Kobe up there. Right. But when I'm comparing them to the other ones, right, like he just wasn't ready day one. And that's not necessarily like a knock on him because he's still one of the greatest. It as a knock, though.
Yeah, you are, because I think I can't believe this is getting into a debate like this.
But
I mean, we might as well, right? You know what I mean? So,
we here.
So again, put Kobe in a different situation, I don't think you would have saw that Kobe. I think if you put him in a LeBron situation, you put him in a Jordan situation, it would have came out a lot faster.
If he would have never gotten traded.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
If he would have went to the Hornets, if you went to the Hornets, you would have saw the LeBron, you would have saw the Jordan a little sooner than what you're saying.
I don't think
so. I think so, because he had to fight, and I think that messed him up because he was trying to fight for that position. He didn't want to come off the bench. Are you crazy? He didn't want to come off the bench, so he was trying to fight, and he was just, you could see it. You could see the wheels turning. I don't know if you remember these games when he first came in.
I remember.
You could see the wheels turning of him trying to prove, like, I should not be coming off the bench. I should be starting over Eddie Jones. You could see that he wanted to check Jordan. Like, he wanted to do that. And I think that, like I said, he was just moving a little too fast.
And we wanted to see it.
We wanted to see it too.
But in saying that, I was a Hornets fan, by the way. So I was
I like Hornets too. I like Larry Johnson.
I was hurt by that trade. I'm like, Vlade can't do nothing for us. I was sick. I didn't understand what was happening because I knew what the potential was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't think he was better than Eddie Jones at the time. When he went to the Lakers, I did not think he should have started over Eddie Jones initially.
But we're talking about initially,
right? And so, and I think that him going, I think that the fact that he did not is what kind of made him Kobe.
Possibly,
because the whole time they always,
story.
They always talk about his mentality.
Yeah, the story's the story.
He always felt like he was the underdog.
Because of
the
way he had to, like I said, the road not less travel but more travel.
But I think also with that mentality, it was like he came in the league like thinking like I gotta be as good as Jordan. But then the situations they put him in was like I can't even prove myself to be as good as Jordan because I'm coming off the bench.
But you know
that's
what,
why his shots was like the way he did.
But here's the thing, right? Like, and every coach will always spin the whole starting thing about it's not who starts, it's who finishes. Yeah. And in those Utah series, who was finishing the game?
He
was.
Yeah.
So obviously they thrusted him into situations and positions to manifest that greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They molded him. So you didn't start, but bro, we know what you are. We're gonna put you in the fourth quarter now.
If you think about it.
But you know, as a basketball player, you feel like a starter, you want to start. You don't want to be the sixth man. You don't want to come off the bench. Everybody knows that play ball. Like, it don't your coach can try to tell you that, like, oh man, you could be the best sixth man in the world. Man, fuck that. I want to start. I want to start, bro.
I think
that Kobe's the guy that wants to start.
I think if he had went to Charlotte, like I said, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been great. I'm just saying his work ethic, he would have been handed it, like we talked about. And him being given something at that time, I don't think that would have been good for a young Kobe.
I think it played out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah,
obviously.
It did.
But like, I'm just saying
that chip never left.
I'm just saying, I'm just going back to what he said. I think we would have saw a different Kobe sooner if it would have been his team. It wasn't his team.
I don't think so.
That was LeBron's team. That was Jordan's team. He came into a team that was already established. He came into an establishment that already had all of these rings.
And then it became Shaq's team.
Yeah.
And then he had to force. He had to demand a trade.
Right.
And why did Shaq leave? Kobe demanded a trade to get Paul Gasol.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
no. Kobe demanded a trade to be traded to Chicago.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's
right. That was
Stephen A. Smith reported that.
That was 2006.
That's
I don't remember.
And that's what led to Shaq.
Exactly, because that whole Shaq Kobe thing started when Kobe realized, like, look, I work hard, and everybody's saying that you're big, bro, and everybody like this is your team, but in reality, like, I'm the reason why we're great, right? And mentally, that's what he believed, right? And I think that they were equal. I think because look, nobody had more first team all defenses than Kobe. Like in the history of the NBA,
it got to be an equal. But
Prime Shaq versus that Kobe. Like, come on. Like,
but I'm just saying But Kobe wasn't that far.
No, he
right. And mentally,
but we're talking about the cream of the crop.
We didn't know it until then. Everybody been telling this story when Shaq fouled out. And what happened in the Indiana game? 100%. That's what people like. Nah.
Exactly. And then here's the other thing too. Colin Cowherd, he was talking about this. Obviously, everybody talked about it. But he was saying at that point in time, like, you know how they always poll NBA execs? They said the best player in the league was Shaq, and number 2 was Kobe. Mm-hmm. And on any given night, Kobe was the best player in the league, or Shaq was. I agree. So that mentality of knowing that, bro, I'm as impactful as you are, Shaq, and I put in the work and you don't.
Yeah, but I want
that's gonna rub somebody that works hard the wrong way. It doesn't matter how great you are, you got to put in the work and you got to earn it.
And then too, we got to look at the respect of your peers. I think that Shaq had the respect of that team. So according 100. To the team, you know, what I'm saying?
It was Shaq.
I mean, it's Shaq.
Yeah,
but Kobe also isolated himself when he was number 8.
He did.
But I want to go kind of go back to what you were saying about Kobe being an MJ. Basically a template, a clone, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Him requesting that trade to Chicago was more of the same with that, right? Mm-hmm. Him thinking he should have started. I told people yesterday that to be great and to do amazing things in this world, you have to be a little delusional. Like, you have to think.
Not a little.
Yeah. Kobe thinking that, when that story he told me that, I could have went for 60 or I should have been starting over Eddie Jones. That's delusion, right? I think when we think about why he hasn't been discussed, I think it's a couple of things. I think he overlaps a lot of generations. Obviously, you and I, we're MJ.
Oh, that's a good point. I see where you're going.
Yeah, you and I, we're MJ.
Yes.
And then in the middle, you have Kobe, but because he was an MJ clone, we see MJ, so we're not going to give him all of that, right?
Yeah.
And then right in the middle, there's all of these Kobe fans. And then right after that, you have LeBron coming in, which is what the fans are now.
Yes.
In the middle, we don't see them as much, and the media don't talk about them as much. They don't talk about Kobe because LeBron, he moves the needle, man.
Yeah.
He's attention.
Yeah.
But there is a huge subset of people just like Rod and younger that when they're in the gym, who are they yelling?
They're yelling Kobe.
All day. We don't hear from them as much. We don't see them as much, and the media don't talk about them as much. But Kobe, for a huge gap, was that nigga.
Because he won a title in like every decade, from the 90s, 2000s, to 2010s. Like, he won a championship. Like, granted, wasn't it 99 they won their first title?
I think that was 2000.
Or was it 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was he won one in every decade. But still, he won. He dominated. Him and Tim Duncan were the only ones that dominated that 2000s era. You know, because of and you give most of that to the Spurs as the organization in total, but like for the LA, it was usually just 2 people.
And I think another knock for him is that people used to say he didn't make the people around him good. Better. So that was another knock that I always did hear about Kobe.
And I get that too, and it's a good point. But at this point, when we talking about the NBA, like, these are the best players in the world. Like, why do I gotta make you better? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I do what I'm doing is great.
That's the criteria, though. Yeah, that's the LeBron narrative, though.
No, that's a very big LeBron. That's the biggest point of LeBron.
But I just think it goes to, like, when you put on your GM hat, it just depends on how you build the team. So if you got a guy like Kobe, you got to put guys that are independent of Kobe.
They were saying it before LeBron came.
Okay.
Yeah, they were saying it before LeBron. And I think those years where, they couldn't get past Phoenix and stuff like that hurt them as well. You know what I'm saying? So
I think when I say LeBron narrative, I know because that's like one of his superpowers.
It became that.
Okay.
It became that, but it was already there. I already had, man, look, I've been arguing Kobe from the beginning.
Gotcha.
So I've heard everything. So
but that narrative has always been there because he was a template of MJ.
But that's what he's saying. But MJ made people better, and that's why
MJ did not. MJ
so that's okay.
MJ and again.
So when did when did that narrative enter into basketball conversations?
I think it's
It always has been. It was always there. That's what I'm saying. Put on your GM hat, and you look at what Chicago did.
I'm putting on I could put on my GM hat to have this conversation, but I'm also putting on like growing up watching basketball and seeing superstars like. Of course, Michael Jordan.
But what I'm saying is, what did I just say? I said that you have to have independent players outside of the MJs and the Kobes, right?
So you don't think Michael Jordan made those role players better?
I think Michael. Moments. Yeah, in moments. Yeah. I think
he trusted them.
He trusted
them. Made them better.
Yeah. Exactly, 100%. So that's why I said independent players. When you look at John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, what are they? Great shooters. They didn't do nothing else, but they shot great. Scottie Pippen, independent player. He didn't need MJ. They won 60. They almost won 60 games when MJ retired. What? You know what I'm saying? Jordan didn't win a playoff game without Scottie. Independent player. Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc. They can go get their own. Jordan was there to make sure that if we got down, just give him the ball. Everybody just do your job. But we know that we got the big spade. Mm-hmm. In the car, in the deck, we got the big joker, and it's the same thing with Kobe. But the Lakers didn't do as good of a job like the Bulls did to surround Kobe with independent players. Because look at what happened when you gave him Lamar Odom, Paul Gasol, and all of these other independent guys. They won championships.
He didn't have talent on those teams, and we all know that. Even though they went to the playoffs, Smush Parker, he didn't have talent.
Oh, no.
He had to get him some players.
Exactly. But we also seen LeBron in that scenario, right, a couple years ago, go up against Golden State, and that's the difference.
LeBron is a different animal.
I understand that.
We will never see another player like LeBron.
But no. But we have.
Whole team.
No, we have.
So you think
Magic?
Let me ask you this: you think Scottie would have been Scottie without Mike?
Magic?
I'll get back to that. I think that because where Michael was in the positions that he put the players that he played with, it elevated and accelerated the
everybody.
Yeah,
you think about let's flip it to football. Mm-hmm. During Michael Vick era when he was here, and they were that rock attitude stars that he brought, they were rock stars. He made everybody around him raise. It wasn't that he coached them to the positions to be in that. His presence.
He was just running. That's all.
Nah, bro.
His presence. Michael Vick's presence made everybody around him.
It didn't make them better.
Yeah, it made them play to another level.
Look.
Yes, he did.
I
they didn't play better, bro. Michael Vick was just a Jordan on that team.
Yeah, man, he made everybody around him.
I remember that. Rodney White dropped so many balls, man.
Only Algie Crumpler was somebody. But talking in terms of Scottie Pippen, I think playing with MJ and getting that playoff experience, being put and thrusted into positions where it's like, hey, bro, I'm getting mine. I need you the ball.
I need you to explain Magic because Magic had a squad.
No, he did. But think about
he didn't make anybody better, bro. He just fit right in.
Okay, and this is where I'm gonna squash that. Remember, Jordan's first championship was against who?
Magic, wasn't it?
And who was on that? Who was on that squad?
You talking about the end of Magic?
Thank you, David. No, because I was going to ask Shelton. How old are you, Shelton?
About your age.
He would say old enough. Old enough.
He about your age.
He know that you over or under than me. I'm 43. But either way, because Rod will remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then, like you just said, that was the end of the Lakers, bro.
It was.
I'm not saying
Jordan wasn't going to beat the Showtime Lakers at their prime.
Oh no, 100%.
He could even beat the damn Detroit Pistons
because the Lakers had way too much. And I agree. Those guys didn't need to be elevated, but we knew the importance of Magic because a diminished Magic still got to the damn finals with nobody on the squad. Byron Scott was a shell of himself at that point in time. Vlade Divac? What the hell was Vlade doing? Vlade will give you 10 points, bro. Vlade
was after he learned the game, right?
But all I'm saying,
because he went to 9 freaking finals.
Okay, and he went to the finals his rookie year
with a loaded roster.
But he had to start at 5. He had to start at 5 to win. All I'm saying is that Magic Johnson, outside of LeBron, is the only other player that I can say can raise the game
Magic his rookie
of everybody
year.
else.
He just jumped on that roster, made them damn near unbeatable. I give you 1 year that year with busted up Byron Scott that he took the team to the finals.
I still think that all of them raised the level of the people around them.
Well, the main point is like that argument to me is just like most of the greatest players of all time didn't elevate other like LeBron. Yeah, he got Mo Williams an All-Star appearance, but that's about like that don't mean shit. Like they lost to Orlando that year. Like so to me it's just like again, what Kobe's got 5 championships. He's got it. He should have got way more. He should have got way more MVPs, but he got 1 MVP
and defensive player of the year.
He got
He should have got more love while he was here.
It's like Kobe's like the people's champ. In a sense, like I see more people talking like about
but like
than the actual commentators and stuff like that.
I don't know if I'll say that because I thought AI is more of a people's champ than Kobe.
Not like Kobe.
Rod's
not
right.
like
Really?
Kobe's a people's champ. Like you go anywhere, people gonna be a lot of people. Like more than half the room's gonna be talking about Kobe, but you won't see that on ESPN and all that shit.
This is something that Rod and I talk about all the time. There's what's on TV.
Yeah.
There's what's on social media, and then
the
there's what's in the real
world.
motherfucking world.
You go to the hood, the courts in the neighborhoods. They're talking about Kobe.
Yep.
AI as much.
I'm not saying that they didn't. But I'm talking about not as much as Kobe.
Because Kobe won.
Yeah.
Kobe won.
Yeah.
And Kobe
Yeah,
won
yeah,
as a
right.
sidekick, and Kobe won as the main guy. AI never won. We respect AI. We love AI. AI ushered it. AI was an icon as well because AI made it cool to, he brought rap. To hip hop, he brought hip hop to the NBA.
Cool.
He brought
Shout out to
style and
Kobe's rap.
swagger.
The rapper, Kobe the rapper.
You know what I'm saying? He brought style and swagger to the NBA. Before AI, there was no guidelines because AI was rocking the hoodies and just looking like hip hop. They're like, oh, no. Y'all got to dress up. You know what I'm saying? AI ushered all of that. AI made tattoos cool. LeBron wouldn't have no sleeve. Lonzo Ball wouldn't have no sleeve if it wasn't for AI. AI had a different type of cultural impact than Kobe did. But when we're talking basketball in the streets, like Rod is talking about, like on the court, people talking about Kobe.
LeBron looked good on paper. He looked good for TV. Analytics, yes. Everybody knows. You not fucking with Kobe Bryant.
Kobe was the eye test.
Yes. It's like, come on. Yeah, exactly. He was the eye test.
Think about what I said. LeBron moves the needle. You talk about LeBron, he's going to bring in eyeballs. People are going to watch.
Yeah.
People are going to read. Kobe, that's what I said, man. Like there's like.
He was like the bad guy.
He was Tom Brady.
Yeah,
like he was
that's
like
what
the
I was
Pats.
gonna say.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I'm sorry, I was about to make a point.
No, it was just kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. Like when you come out of that world and you come into the real world, and what I asked y'all, what people are saying in the gym, everybody here said Kobe.
Yeah.
Because we all heard it, we've all seen it.
Right.
You know, so they're not saying LeBron.
Yeah, and it's
Now
what
if you want to make it.
no, but it's what Kobe
Statistically,
represents.
LeBron is better, but Kobe
Yeah.
has the mentality to take it.
But because it's what Kobe represents. Kobe represents hard work. It doesn't matter if you're my height. If you work hard enough, you can make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? LeBron, like, man, come on, man. The reason, and it's always part of my argument, a big reason why LeBron is great is because he's 6'9", 260 something. Yeah. You can't coach that. I can't work hard enough to get that, bro.
Best athlete to ever play.
Best athlete. You
can't-
as a
you
football
can't-
player.
yeah.
Outside of maybe Zion now. That's a whole different
conversation.
But in Kobe,
yeah.
bro, I can work hard. Why you think like and I'm not saying that like this was a direct correlation, but why the Steph Currys, the Trae Youngs, you know what I'm saying? Why they think that they can be great? Because they were influenced by Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe said, if you have this mentality, if you work hard enough, if you're delusional enough, you can make it.
Shit, LeBron was influenced by Kobe.
Yes.
100%.
Let's be real about this.
What's in the NBA right now are Kobe babies.
100%.
Yes.
These are
100%.
the descendants of Kobe.
And you know what's
And
interesting?
LeBron is coming next.
And that's what makes his statement crazier, that he's not getting those accolades because, and we have clones like babies of Kobe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's crazy. It blows my mind every time I have these conversations with people.
And that's
like,
why,
man.
and we're gonna talk about him. Zion, like when we look at Zion, who do we compare him to? LeBron. When we look at Giannis, we compare his game to LeBron. Ben Simmons,
Because they big as hell.
We're having the LeBron descendants coming in now because he changed the
rightfully
game.
so, yeah.
And right after him, who we gonna see? Who we see with Trae Young? You're gonna see
Steph.
Curry's coming in.
You're gonna see Steph.
You know, so that's kind of just the way that the game goes, man. These kids emulate what they see, and if they're talented enough, they have the Mamba mentality to do it, then they'll be able to do it. And if everything works out in their favor,
That's true.
Shout out to 12 Kyle real quick. He said he hasn't ever seen you this quiet, Nick.
I'm just listening. I can't be disrespectful on Kobe. Not today,
Anybody cry?
Oh yeah, I did.
You did?
I did.
I went to the bar. I had to get a drink. Me and my homie, we just went.
You know what it
You were
is?
in there like Tate from. Hey, girl, come on back to my room.
You know what it was for me? Like, first of all, is what Kobe represented, right? Like, for me personally, like, one of my best friends, my best friend in high school, he passed last year. And one of the bonds we had was over Kobe. When Kobe was drafted, like, we used to be at each other's homes watching Kobe. You know, I was trying to emulate Kobe in AI, you know what I'm saying? So that hit me. But it was the suddenness of it, right? Like, because... like, we're never going to hear from Kobe again.
Yeah.
Like, the details and just the openness of Kobe. And you know, like obviously I'm good right now for the most part. You know, over today I've been okay. But then when I start thinking about Vanessa, when I start thinking about his family, when I start thinking from a selfish perspective, like, not getting Kobe at all. Like,
The human aspect.
The human aspect, it's hard to hold back.
Yeah,
man.
because like that's the reason why I didn't cry, but I can get choked up about it because it's like she kissed him and her daughter that same morning, and they, you know, she thinking that they coming right back.
And I'm
now-
thinking, I thought, did she though? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, what if she didn't? What if you so used to them
Yeah.
coming back that you was like,
All right,
don't
babe.
wake me
Yeah,
up.
yeah. What if they
Don't
doing
wake
other
me up
stuff?
when you
Yeah.
leave. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's just
That's rough.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Shelton?
Man, that like I said, being a father and having, you know, younger kids, that's the part. I didn't cry, but I did cry on the inside. And, you know, I was with my brother who's, you know, he's a basketball guy. He played ball and everything in college, and watching him, you know, how emotional he got by it messed me up because I'm like, dang, you know, I felt it. Plus, I felt it anyway. I was thinking today, I was like, you know, the dopest tribute that could happen is if Nike made a Mambacita shoe in tribute to
his daughter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'd be so dope.
That would be dope.
And I think they probably will. I'm pretty sure with the amount of respect that they have for him and his family, they would have a shoe passing the torch from him to her.
That would be
that
dope.
would be dope, and I would buy it no matter what.
100%.
Yeah,
I would donate it. I'll buy them just to donate it to girls' basketball teams and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they compare Luka to LeBron too. What about you, Rod?
Man, it's weird, man. Like I said when we first started this, like my emotions are all over the place, and I think because of that, it's like I don't know how to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like when I got the news, I didn't cry. I felt like I should have been crying, but I wasn't. And that's been it's been family members that passed, and I didn't cry. But more like Shelton, I didn't shed tears. It wasn't the Kobe accident that made me shed tears. This is what I started thinking about with myself, like me having a daughter. Y'all know how I am with my daughter. My daughters, I just had a child. If y'all didn't know that, I just had a child. I announced it on is the mic still on? But I started thinking about that. I started looking at them, and that's what made me just kind of get emotional. It wasn't so it was a mixture of things. It was like me looking at my family, me thinking like, man, this is just so tragic. Even thinking about the other people that were on the plane, because I started seeing the other family members. Like, man, this is just sad. Yeah. This is deeper than just Kobe. This is just a sad moment in general, man. Me being a Kobe fan, I could look past that because it's just like they got on the plane, they happy. They you know you got to be happy you're on the plane with Kobe.
That's what I was thinking.
And these are your last moments. You know what I'm saying? I started thinking about like the last moments on the plane. I just started thinking about other things outside of what we see on TV, and that's where I'll kind of tear up. You know what I'm saying? Looking at my newborn child, like, man, I could be going tomorrow, or anything could happen. I could be going with him tomorrow. Like it's just I started thinking about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
My daughter, like I was in a urgent care with her today. She had like an earache and sore throat. I'm thinking about it then. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, something can happen now. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, I'm like, damn. So I started getting emotional about those things. I am super sad about what happened to Kobe, but just that alone did make me cry. It was just everything that's attached to that made me start thinking about stuff.
Yeah,
that made me emotional.
I think we're eerily similar. When Ralph first showed me, I physically like shook.
Yeah.
At a physical reaction because I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I was in shock. I was dismayed. I kept waiting for like a movie, like somebody's gonna come back and say, "Oh no, he survived."
Yeah.
And it never came. And I was just out of it the whole day.
Yeah.
I was here until like 9 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home. You know, first thing I always do when I go home is if the boys sleep, I look at them. If they not sleep, they gonna run in and give me a hug, daddy, or whatever. Both of them. But they were asleep. So first thing, walked in the house, opened the bedroom, looked at them. Then went in, made some food. Of course, you know, the wife came. We sat and talked just about everything, you know, that went on throughout the day. She helped me craft the social media post to put out there because I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you did it on there. That was dope, man.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that each post represented a part of what Kobe was.
And I was like, that is crazy. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
you were able to attach it to frames because he had a Grammy. You was able to attach it to Is the Mic because it's just random conversations. You obviously sports. It's like, man, he's able to attach this to everything.
Yeah, I really thought about it, and I also
Yeah.
wanted to also make sure that Dead and Gaming too with the game
hip hop because he did hip hop
Yep.
before. I was like, man, he attached this to everything.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that just shows you
He could
though.
have been on any of the shows.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Like he could transcend on any show
Any
that we
show on
do.
the network.
Ain't
Yep.
that crazy, man? Like,
And that's the
come on.
thing. That's what I'm saying. Like people try to like make Kobe seem like he was just one thing as far as like criticism, but like he did he was a part of so much that you don't like. You kind of gloss over because obviously when you think about it, you think Mamba mentality, but like he had a rap album. He was all Moesha.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah.
he was a part of just black culture in general, just
Yes.
culture, and he just transcended because of the winning.
And we didn't just lose a basketball player. We lost a mind.
Yes.
Like we lost a
Absolutely.
brilliant mind. And I'm tripping and I'll be bugging because I'm like, all of our heroes are going down one by one, and that's eerie and crazy.
And
to me.
I just feel the city of LA, like to lose Nip and then Kobe, like
I was
Well,
talking to
I-
my wife about that today.
You know, I wanted to make sure that in doing that I also made sure that because I waited before I said anything because everybody's so quick to react.
Yeah,
I
man,
wanted to be thoughtful and mindful. I wanted to make sure that the other families, like you
Exactly.
mentioned,
Yes.
were recognized in our statements that we put out.
Yeah, I didn't even want to post anything. That was another thing I think that kept me from posting. Outside of me just not even knowing where to start, where to say. I was like, man, I still want to know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before I say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like if you posted immediately like, oh man, R.I.P. Kobe, and then you find out like 30 minutes to an hour later that it was his daughter as well. Now you got to go back and it's like, oh my God, like his daughter too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, just. I come from an era where it wasn't social media, so I that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to post on social media. I wanted to have my feelings myself, and I wanted to just like process this. I looked at stuff, but I didn't post anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
you know what's crazy? Me too, because like if you go to my IG, I liked a whole bunch of Kobe stuff, but I didn't post anything because it's kind of like I wanted to be right in what I was going to say, right? Just like with the Nipsey thing, like I didn't post.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It took me some days. And then the other thing too, like we're talking about like what kind of got us choked up. Like today, talking with the wife because we had some doctor's appointments and things like that. Like, we started thinking about those last moments. Because obviously as the investigation goes on, they were talking about that they were descending at a rate of 184 miles an hour, which was 4,000 feet per minute. So like in those moments, she was like, do you think like he called Vanessa or tried to call Vanessa? And I'm like, man, I don't know. All I know is that I'm not a father, but I do have nieces, I have brothers. Like if I was in that moment, like I'm just trying to embrace my kid to try to protect her.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like, but
I'm and that's kind of to wrap up is kind of where I was going. Like what got me this morning, I didn't cry, but I kind of I got choked up. I kind of started to tear up a little bit. Was watching First Take and how emotional they were, and how I'm a bit of an empath, so how all of them loved and adored the man and had a way closer personal connection to them than I did, and the pain that I saw and then I felt.
Doc Rivers, oh my God.
And Doc Rivers broke down. And what got me was what Stephen A. Smith said about Kobe's love for his daughter. And when you said that about your kids, and I was thinking about like me thinking the same thing. He said he know that if Kobe could have given his life for his daughter, he would have. And I thought about me and my sons, and I thought about if that was me in that helicopter. And that was the moment that I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it became human to me because, and I was talking to my wife about this. When we think about, we didn't have social media. Mm-hmm. When we saw Jordan, Magic, Bird, all of these guys, the movie stars, they were like comic book characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were like novels if you read. They were larger than life. They were superhero. They were, as my wife called, we just watched Godzilla. They were the titans. Yeah. They were the gods. What social media did was it kind of removed that veil. It kind of broke that, and we saw them as human, but now we can touch them and say mean things. And you know, to kind of see what, you don't think they could die. Right. And then just like that is gone.
Or if you think they do die, like it's like the storybook ending, right? It's like they're, like Rod was saying, like they're like 80s plus on their deathbed, surrounded by family, friends, and loved ones, and we are prepared to be like, all right, Kobe's gone off to, you know, he lived a long life and all that.
Like David Stern, how you said earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And
David
now,
Stern,
but like when it happens like on a random Sunday when the Pro Bowl's going on, and it's just
the Grammys,
the Grammy, and just think about how full circle that came from Kobe and Nip.
He was in,
you know what I'm saying, like that connection. But man, there was something that you just said. It just threw me off. Say what you just said again.
Well, basically, like it just happened randomly, like out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, so you know, the spotlight was back on Kobe because LeBron just passed him. So everybody was talking about Kobe and LeBron and the Laker Nation and all of that stuff. So people like ever since Kobe left, we've been talking about Kobe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of all of the things that Kobe was doing, especially with his daughter, starting that academy and how he's been a coach for his daughter. And then you're starting to see all of the little gifts and things where Kobe's breaking down the game to his daughter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So they just started coming back to game.
Exactly. They just started coming back. So Kobe was in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was highlighted, and then even though it was a random Sunday, Kobe was on our lips. Kobe was in our mouths. You know what I'm saying? So last for him to be just gone just like that.
Man, you see the clip when he was with his daughter and I think they were barefoot and she was like pushing off on him.
Oh yeah. He was teaching her the game in their home gym. Yeah. Like going between the leg. Yeah, man. That's tough.
Hey, think about it though. What if it had happened Super Bowl Sunday? How crazy that would have been. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing trumps the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Biggest sporting event every year.
Yeah.
It would have happened.
It would have messed the whole. It would shut it down.
So I do want to get you guys' thoughts on the Super Bowl, and then talk briefly about Zion, and then we'll get out of here because we want to kind of do mostly this about Kobe.
Yes.
What is, if you guys can remember, your favorite? If not favorite, one of your favorite, because I know we have multiple. Just one of your favorite Kobe moments.
Basketball wise?
It could be anything, bro.
The first thing that comes to my mind, man, is when he did like this with his jersey. Like I forgot, I don't know, I can't remember what game it was, but it's the iconic one where he's just like, look, like,
is that the one where he's standing on the table?
I think
or you talking about the one where it seemed like
not that one, not now. It was like he was just in a moment, man. He was just shaking his jersey. Like I can't remember who he was playing. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows, but like, yeah, man, that probably is like, I remember when that happened. I was like, that's gonna be a poster. I knew that was going to be a poster.
For me, I thought you were going with when he won his 4th title without Shaq, and I think that's when he stood up on the table, and he was just like, he had the hat on and everything.
But that's to be expected. Like that, like championships. It's like, you know that you're gonna get that moment from the Jordans of the world. You know you're gonna get that moment. But it was just something about this moment that happened I don't know. I can't remember if it was a playoff game or it was just a regular season game. But he was just like fierce. I was like, man, that's gonna be a true representation of what Kobe is. Like that fight, like, man, it just that fierceness, man. Like I was just like, yo, like that's a moment.
Remember he had the face. Remember the face he used to make,
like the little snark.
Yeah,
man, that's what I'm saying. I want to say that was like one of the first times he did it.
Yeah,
I want to say when he just really was in it. Y'all don't even remember this, huh?
I don't.
Hold on, man. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Mine is a little off the beaten path, but I don't know if y'all remember when Matt Barnes
put
that ball in his face and he didn't move. That, I mean, we can go to, he has a million moments, but that one in particular, I was like, that dude ain't human. Because there's no way.
And he didn't react.
He didn't react at all.
Because it's one thing not to flinch, but it's one thing to like react like, man, what the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't You're just right there, like,
and then that was a moment where if he had flinched, that would have been like, what's the movie where he's like, why you flinch?
mm-hmm.
That would have been one of the moments where he would have been made fun of by Matt Barnes probably the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But in that moment, he was a stone cold killer.
Yep.
And it was like, there's nothing.
He was just rocking too.
He was like, there's nothing you can do to me. And I'm like, man, that's not human.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that stood out.
So my moment is
I found it. Hold on. I'm sorry. It was this moment.
Oh, I do remember that.
I don't remember what I remember
I
that.
don't know if they can see it. Can they see that?
Yeah,
they can see it.
It's that moment. I remember when that moment happened, man. I was just like, man, that's a poster. And then I saw it. I was like, I knew it. I knew it, man. I forgot what happened in that game, but man, he was going crazy. He was just like,
You said
So-
that.
huh?
You said yours.
Nah.
The Achilles, right?
No, that's a moment that made me realize how tough he was. Because again, when you watch every other Achilles injury, they out. They not standing up. You know what I'm saying? But now my moment is tied to my current wife. So it's the craziest thing. So my wife was born December 7th, and when I met her October. We've been together so long I can't remember the year.
Longer than like me and Nate. Like,
That's crazy. I've been together with her for a minute, and it was the same year that I met her. She had other suitors at the time, and you know what it is when you date. And she was having a birthday party, and I remember that she invited some other dudes that she was talking to or whatever. And
This is a bachelorette.
nah, I wasn't no bachelorette, but
came out the cake and shit. Like,
no,
Find out you was in the lineup.
I was in the lineup, and I'll never forget the Lakers and the Heat were playing that day, and this was before like when we still had 3G, so the internet wasn't all of that. Mm-hmm. You weren't really watching real time what was happening, but you had scores and updates. And I remember while we was at her party, I was watching the game, and this was when I was throwing a little salt Kobe's way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not always gonna say that I was always like the biggest Kobe stan or anything like that. I've always respected him, but I always threw salt there.
Yeah.
And this is D Wade's prime.
The original Salt Bay.
Yeah, I was. And this was D Wade's prime, and I remember the game was really close. So I was at her party, but I'm over here watching the game, and they were going back and forth. And I remember when I left, I'm looking at the box score, and I'm like, yeah, the Heat about to win. And all of a sudden it updated and the damn Lakers won. And I'm like, what the hell? What happened? Wait, hold on. So once I get home, you know what I'm saying? I watch Sports Center, and Kobe had the craziest 1-footed 3-point shot over D Wade with perfect defense.
Really, people? Why you gotta do it?
It has nothing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. But when I saw that, I was just like, this motherfucker, man.
You talking about the one where he banked it off the rim?
Off the backboard.
Oh, backboard,
Bro,
yeah.
like Kobe had to take like 2 or 3 dribbles, and he was about 3-4 feet away from
Wade
the
was on his ass.
And Wade was on his ass, and he just 1-footed it. And he made it. And I'm just like, more salt in the wound. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just made me hate him just a little bit much more.
I remember that.
That was
I
tough.
remember that.
My
that
favorite
was
moment
tough.
is just I wasn't alive, or I wasn't watching basketball actively like I am now. Then, of course, because I was young. But just seeing him and MJ go against each other, I think it's the All-Star game, and it was like that was just something that moving forward down the line is like, damn, he went against MJ, like he went against his idol for real,
Yeah,
and
man.
like they went at, and like that to me, that's just so iconic because it's like how people nowadays will have to do like a Photoshop of that, but that actually happened.
Yeah.
And like to me, that was just like, that's just legendary in itself.
That's a good one, yeah.
Kyle, where did he had one I was gonna read, but I can't find it now. He did mention the fourth quarter versus Portland down 17. Kobe with the lob to Shaq.
Yep.
That's iconic.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
iconic.
remember that. I think for me, man, mine has to be. Well, one of mine is just the last game, man. Like, I know it was 50 shots. Forget all that. But if you think of a way that to go out
As you,
yeah.
he went out like Kobe. Like
Yeah.
if you look at those numbers and everything, the whole game, like
That was Kobe.
That's
Yep.
Kobe.
Yep.
And he willed that team to victory.
Yeah, hit the game winner. Like when you think about that, like that is Kobe. That's the epitome of who he is, the Mamba mentality. And I'm like FIFO, man. I've been off and on with Kobe, and I really come to respect him, you know, in the latter parts of his career, in my life. And once I did, and I embraced who he was, and I enjoyed the moments that I had with him because I knew the end was near. It became that much more enjoyable, and I'll never forget that. And that was memorable for me. Any final thoughts?
Wait, somebody answered my question. I think they was referring to it was Roland Young. He said that was Denver's 2008 playoffs game. Kobe had 49 points, 10 assists. I think that was the moment. It sounded like it. Yeah, and I want to say they made that the cover of 2K10.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I
why I
remember.
recognize it. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Well, before we y'all already know I'm a Trae Young stan, but did you see the numbers and the correlations to Kobe?
Him and Devin Booker did that.
Yeah, I sent that one, but just Trae Young's game by itself. Obviously, he shot 24 times. Obviously, Kobe's number 24. He shot 81% from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? And then this was the first time that anybody scored more than 40 points, taking less than 25 shots against the Wizards since Kobe.
And he came out to number 8.
Yep, and he came out to number 8.
Yeah.
And that was Gigi's favorite basketball player.
Yes.
Trae Young?
Yes.
Yeah, he said he
at that Brooklyn game.
He said he got a call from recently is saying hey bro, young fella.
That's why they went to that game. They went to the Brooklyn game to see the Hawks play.
They need to show respect from Trae, man. Like I know Luka get a lot of love, but they do him a brother Trae.
It's just
wrong.
Luka's just on the. Not say he's on another level, but
damn, that's not what I'm saying. Let's just we gonna just say they need to show him some more respect. Luka bad boy, but they need to show Trae some respect.
White man can jump too now.
He can't. Final thoughts about Kobe. It could be anything. While y'all pull y'all together. One other thought, when I was driving here, I was talking to my wife. My son's nickname is Kobe. And it's really interesting how it all came about. It was just his initials. Kendall Owen Bernard Inge. And
wow, bro.
Yeah.
So you didn't realize that?
Nope.
Wow.
Not until he was born, and we just started to kind of play around with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, you would be Kobe. Your nickname would be Kobe. Because I had a love-hate relationship with the brother at the time. And all his friends call him Kobe. And when he was at school, he said that's all. He's in middle school. He's in 6th grade. He said that's all everybody was talking about. And his relationship to Kobe was like, yeah, he know that as his nickname, like Kobe. So I think, and there's only one person that call him that. Well, outside of his friends he play online. So I think that's interesting in that Kobe's legacy, outside of what I've watched and experienced and enjoyed over the years, will also live on in him just in his nickname alone, which is unplanned, but, I welcome it a lot. Like my youngest son is named after Miles Davis, which is my favorite jazz player. So yeah, man, I think that just speaks to, I talked to them about that Mamba mentality of earning it and being tough and overcoming adversity all the time. And I'll continue to preach that. I like that is a lifestyle, that is a mentality now, and not something that somebody do on the game, man. And it's something that I always say all the time, even with what we're doing here. I always tell people you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work, and that's what Kobe Bryant did. That was what I love and respect about him most, is that he put in the work.
Yes.
It was God-given, but he had to put in the work to manifest it.
Yes.
And, spending all day, here yesterday from 9 to 9, is part of that, whether I planned it or not. But I come from a hardworking, family, military background, and I embody that, whether intentionally or not. And I encourage everybody, I hope you guys adopt that mindset as well, because nothing will be given to you. You have to earn it.
That's it.
No, shut up.
For me, like I said, watching him talk to his daughter, it hit me, and it's before he passed away. Even like I said, it was funny because she had on that little Scully, and I was sending it to my daughter because I had bought her a Scully and she didn't want to wear it. And I was like, look, you can wear a Scully and still be cool, because she's like, hey. But watching him talk to his daughter, I saw something bigger than, everybody's like, oh, he's schooling on the game. He wasn't just schooling her on the game.
Yes.
He was teaching her life.
Yes.
He was teaching her life. And not only was he teaching her, he was teaching me, other dads that was paying attention to that. Because I know I wasn't the only one watching. I wasn't the only one that caught that moment. So I think it was for a purpose that all of this is happening. I don't think it's an accident. And we got something from him that, like you said, we got the Mamba mentality. You can teach that to your kids any day. Look, if you want something, this is how hard you got to work to get it. Because you might not have the height. You ain't 6'6". So if you want to be a basketball player, you got to work this hard at least to be on the squad. We ain't talking about be an all-star. We talking about to make it. You know what I'm saying? So that mentality you can teach your kids. Plus, it taught me as an adult, this is the type of influence and impact I need to have on my child. You know what I'm saying? So that was my takeaway from it. So anytime I watch that video, I see something different. And like I said, I see him instructing her, but to me, that's life lessons. That's not basketball. And even if he was teaching her basketball,
it applies.
Yeah, knowing Kobe, he meant something behind it, and that's what I got from it.
That's weird, man. Like, I keep agreeing with you on certain things, and I think it's because we have that father-daughter thing going on. But I Shadow saying sentiments or whatever. I mean, like, again, y'all already know I'm already like that with my daughter. Like, whatever she want to do, would pursue, I'm behind her 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it just extends further than that now for me. Like, it just puts me in a different mindset. I'm already a super positive guy, but now it's like, it makes me love you guys more. It makes me want to push you guys more. And like, it just motivates me to be ultimate Rod. I'm already Rod. Y'all know how I am. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me want to do that even more so now without complaints. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me want to have more conversations with Ken. It makes me want to love on this dude a little bit more and figure out what's going on with him and his situations and just be there by his side. I appreciate you coming on and embracing Dead End and like being part of the family. I just told Naomi this the other day, like, man, it's amazing how Nick came in and he's just like part of the family now. He's like an honorary member of Dead End. It just makes me love the people around me more and show that, we don't have, it could be gone any minute, and we just gotta, love each other, man. We gotta hold each other tighter. We can't be afraid to show emotions. Yeah. Can't be afraid to tackle, hard conversations and just be the best person, elevate each other. You know what I'm saying? Just be the best person you can be. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me want to love more on people in general, not just my family, just people that I'm close to, people that, I've impacted. It just makes me want to do that more. Right. And that's what I've been taking away from this more so than anything as I process it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my son, man, he don't even realize how much I'm about to be loving on him, and I be kissing on him. Like before I had him, I didn't even think I would be that way with my son. Yeah. I knew I would be that way. I was with my daughter, but I didn't think I would be that way with him. And I'm just gonna be like that even more so now. Right. So yeah, man, I'm just just trying to do the most I can do while I'm here and impact as many people as I can. And just try to make people happy. So that's my last words with Kobe, obviously prayers and, thoughts and prayers to his family, his wife, as they deal with this, his family. I can just only imagine what they're going through, but, just trying to put a positive spin on it as I can. That's what I'm taking away from it.
Right.
For me, I'm not a father. I don't have a wife or nothing like that. So y'all related to it on a very deep level. But for me, just taking it as the man that he was, it was more about like, what kind of going off of what Ken's point is, like, to be respected so much that it's confused as fear. Like, I feel like people say Mamba mentality, or people felt like it was like they were scared. It was just like, nah, I know this person works so hard at his craft, harder than me, maybe even harder than some of the legends, right, that I got to step my game up. And am I ready to even do that in this moment? And again, going off that point, is just like leveling up and always thinking you could be better. Like, Kobe could have stopped doing, evolving as a man, as a person, as a basketball player after the first couple championships or whatever. He could have just stuck to who he was, but he always kept working on himself, working on his game, and passing that knowledge to other people. And that's kind of like the sentiments that I'm taking away from it is that you can always be better and you can always influence other people to be better. So, yeah, that's, again, on top of that, of course, thoughts and prayers to his family. But, yeah, that's the main takeaway that I'm taking from him.
Right. So, for me, you know, man, I'm not even going to lie, man. In the last 2 years, I felt that I've lost a lot of people directly and indirectly that have impacted me. And it's had me in this weird place. You know what I'm saying? Even with my own situation that happened last year, you know, with back-to-back accidents, started really making me evaluate, like, what's important, you know, because I as bad as those accidents were, like, I possibly could not be here right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be up there, you know, dapping it up with Nip and Big and Kobe now, you know. But I think the biggest takeaway or it just reinforces this mentality for me is kind of like, I deal with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's a Dead End Family, my own family, podcast that, you know, now I'm involved with, which is a whole bunch of different casts. And a lot of times I hear people about what they want to do, you know, instead of doing and living what you want to do. I feel, and I do it myself as well. I think as humans, we do that. But when you look at these people that became great, it's because they wanted to and they manifested those things, and nothing was going to stop them from doing what they wanted to do. So that's why I always tell everybody, man, live your life. Like, if it's something that you feel that's going to make you happy, by all means do it. You know, obviously we got to encompass family and other people as well. But if there is something that you want to do not make an excuse for it. Just do it. You know, and I'll give a personal example. You know, like, I've had conversations with Ken. Me and Ken always be at the damn studio doing something. Him way more than me. But, you know, I was like, last year, I was like, look, man, you know, we've been doing this Dead End thing a very long time. And for me, I love it. I'll never stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get creative behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't just say that. I was like, okay, well, let me learn how to edit podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Let me learn how to do this. And I feel empowered by being able to give people platforms. You know what I'm saying? And being consistent with it. And if you look at what Nipsey, you know, what he said, he was like, you know, the only distinguishing quality with him is that he never gave up. When you look at Kobe and what his message is like, work harder than everybody else. You know, Jay Williams had a story when he said that they were playing the Lakers and he went out there 2 hours before the game and Kobe was already sweating and he was doing basketball like in-game moves. You know what I'm saying? Had a full sweat on, and he worked out for about an hour 15, and he was packing up and Kobe was still going. And he was like, how is he going to have energy to play? And he dropped 45 on their head. You know what I'm saying? So
what did he say after that though? You remember, did you go further than that?
What?
He was like, he asked them afterwards after the game was over. And he spanked him. He beat him.
Yep.
He said, yo, why did you stay in the gym that long? He said, I saw you walk in. He's like, I saw you walk in.
You're not gonna outwork me.
You're not gonna outwork me.
Yep.
Mamba mentality. That's Mamba mentality.
That's insane almost.
That's insane.
It is insane.
I told y'all, delusional.
That's insane. Yeah. He saw that man walk in. And remind you, he has a game he has to play.
Yeah.
But just to show him that, I'm going to show you that I see that you came here 2 hours early to get some workout in. I know you see me already working, but I'm going to stay here until you leave.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? That goes back to like Mike Tyson, where as soon as you step in the ring, you're already defeated. Mentally, you like because just think about Jay Williams in that moment. He's like, well, he's not gonna have all of this, and then you surprise the hell out of him and like, bro, I'm ready for your neck. You know, so all of that to say, man, that you know, if there's something out there, don't let nobody stop you. Don't let anything stop you, especially yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the main thing that I always see when I interact with people, is that people stop themselves from being great, and you can't do that. You gotta get out of your own way and be great, because everybody has a lane or something that they can be great in, and just go ahead and do it.
B called in, you know, as I mentioned earlier, that he wasn't able to join us earlier, but and I'm glad he called in, man, because it just wouldn't have been right without you, brother, man. Like your words on Kobe
BC
Bryant.
phone 30.
So I
remember that? Anybody know that? That's the throwback.
Yeah, so I got him on the phone. I'm
throwback.
gonna put you down. I'm gonna put you right here by the mic. So go ahead, brother.
All right, yeah. So of course I got to speak on, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. The news, it shit took me off guard too. I remember I was texting Ryan. I texted Ryan first, and then I hit him up, and then my dad was calling me. Then I was calling my boy Meet Your Mike because they probably just as big, if not bigger, fans of Kobe than Ryan was. Like I knew 3 diehard Kobe fans, and them three dudes. Make sure the dudes I made sure I hit up when it happened, and yeah, man, it was crazy, man. Like as a basketball fan, of course I couldn't stand Kobe Bryant, and that's just a rival because teams and all that shit. And it's like, damn, Kobe's so fucking good. Same way as Jordan. I mean, I just couldn't stand him because he was just so fucking good. But as someone that's a basketball fiend, a junkie like myself, I appreciate the hell out of Kobe. I appreciate everything that he's done for the game of basketball. I appreciate his basketball genes and his. I don't think we've seen a basketball mind like Kobe before, man. Like the fact that he is so detailed in the way he approached the game, the way he plays the game, the way he execute. Like that shit is like unheard of, man. Like, I've never seen no one like that. I think one of y'all probably said it. I'm pretty sure y'all probably said it in the podcast, but like we never seen no one like that since a Jordan. I mean, he's pretty much like a blueprint of a Jordan, but it's like. Kobe is like this new era of like Coogee rap where he got so many babies, like DeMar DeRozan. I mean, so many babies that Kobe has generated throughout this last 15 to 20 years, which is crazy. And it's like I remember him being drafted. I was a freshman in high school playing AAU ball. Like I remember being excited about that '96 draft class and not even knowing that Kobe was going. I didn't even know Kobe was going to turn out to be the player that he was because he started in the mud. Like he started in the dirt. He didn't come in like the man like Magic or like Kareem and like LeBron or whatever. Like he didn't come being that number one dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like the 6 or 7 guy. You know what I'm saying on the team. So Kobe like really had to work his way up. And then once he got that first championship, and it was just like you just started seeing his game just elevating, taking it a whole other level. Especially him playing against Jordan and asking Jordan for some pointers, how to do this, how to do a certain move, how to separate the player, and all that stuff. Like, I think that shit was crazy. Like, and then to be honest with you, like, besides some of my best friends I played ball with, Kobe was the reason why I, wanted to post up more. Like, I was really never, a big post-up player until, maybe I got into, my early to mid-20s because, I was always a speedy guy. So, even just seeing Kobe's approach, just how he post up smaller guards, or just post up other guards, that shit inspired me to post up more. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ryan and Ralph would tell you that I'm like that.
Yes, sir.
So it's that shit's crazy, man. It's amazing how as much as I couldn't stand Kobe, just as a basketball fan, watching him going against teams that I like or going against my Pistons, he's like another player that inspired me to play a certain type of way, which is crazy. I'd have never thought that in a million years. Now that I look back, damn, Kobe inspired me to play a particular way that I never thought I would play like. So, yeah, man, just my heart really goes out to the wife and his other daughters and stuff, and I just can't even imagine what was happening moments before that helicopter went down. Because I'm just like, Jesus Christ, yeah, I just started just thinking about his family and everybody, man. I just can't believe this, man. It still feels weird. I was. I'm still at work now, but just being at work earlier today when people was in the building, everybody was just like, man, something just don't feel right. It just feels weird. I'm like, yeah, man, that death still hits me, man. That shit hurts. That shit hurts, man. As a basketball someone that loves basketball his whole life, this shit hurts. This one definitely hurts. I was just like, golly. So yeah, I don't know. I made sure I had to hit up the 3 dudes who I knew was crazy Kobe fanatic. So I was just like, damn, because when I saw that shit, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was like that moment. I remember Ryan said this when Trump got elected for president. It was like a feeling. I had a feeling in my stomach, like, damn, is this shit for real? So yeah, man, this is crazy. This shit's still crazy. But yeah, man, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, man. He will be missed. I hope the NBA do some great things to show a memory and love of Kobe. Because we definitely lost one. We lost one, man, too early, way too early. Shit, him and LeBron supposed to be fucking 85 years old going to the NBA Finals and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sitting courtside at the NBA Finals. So Yeah, and it's even crazier that his last tweet was to congratulate LeBron. You know what I'm saying? For him passing the total points record or whatever, being third now. That was his last words on Twitter, was to congratulate LeBron. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I know y'all probably been recording or whatever, and I'm about to get out of here probably in half an hour. So.
All right, man. I'm really so glad you were able to call in, man. It wouldn't have felt right, man. We've been doing this show for so long, man. Like, for you to not have.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed. I had to, untimely stay at work a little bit late, but
it's one of them things.
Bills, but yeah, I was like, nah, I gotta call in.
Yeah. We needed your voice, man, for sure, man. Like.
I know y'all probably wrapping up, but y'all wish I could say more, but I had to call in and just say my piece. I just wanted to say my piece. And my favorite Kobe moment, one is petty, all right? I got a couple of favorite Kobe moments, okay? First one is a petty moment, all right? The petty moment is when he shot like damn near 30% in the Game 3 of the 2004 Finals when my Pistons beat them. And then another moment,
whatever be.
That's the petty one. That's the petty moment. The great moment is when he prevailed, when him and T-Mac was going at it, man.
That was a good
2002 matchup, I think. And
I just watched it on YouTube.
This was prime T-Mac, and I ain't gonna never forget. This was my favorite moment. T-Mac had did like a kind of like a Hakeem Olajuwon post up mid range shot on him and made Kobe kind of like fall. Kobe got the ball right back.
They were going back.
Got the ball right back because they both was checking each other. Got the ball right back. He went baseline, went up over a T-Mac, dunked it, and then smacked it back for it, and he was yelling. I got so fucking hyped. I get hyped every time I see that shit, man. And it's on YouTube.
I just watched it on YouTube. I just watched it
crazy,
last week.
Man, that shit give me
no lie.
That shit give me hyped so every fucking time. Every time I see that shit, man. He came right back at T-Mac like how a GOAT's supposed to do it, man. Like if a dude come bust your ass, Kobe was like, all right, give me the ball back. Went baseline, starting to win, went baseline and dunked that bitch and smacked the back for it. Oh, that shit just fucking gets me every fucking time. And another moment is when he crossed over. He played against the Clippers and he like posterized Michael Oliver Candy. That's like one of my other favorite moments.
Ended his career with that.
B coming with the
gym. His career.
He was done after that.
Ended his career with that shit. So them are my favorite Kobe moments right there. Like I said, I had a petty one.
Man.
Definitely some great moments.
Yeah, hey man, keep it petty, man. We like that. This show is real, man.
It is what it is.
Kobe will respect it. Yeah, we not,
I mean, that was the only time in my whole time watching Kobe. Like he showed a little bit of kryptonite a little bit when he went against my Pistons.
Shut up, B.
Hey, B, I'm with you on that one.
Hey, we started static.
Because our defense was so tight.
Like, all right, man, we know, B.
Hey, Ryan. Hey,
you know we talked about this. Yo, I'm listening.
I know.
I'm listening.
And it's funny because that was the year before I had moved down here that year.
So
that was right before I had been Ryan. So I used to always tell Ryan like, man, you lucky you didn't know me during this damn final. Because, I gave Meech and Mike, I gave them niggas hell. I gave them niggas so much hell.
Man, I was literally sick. We had that shit in the bag, man.
Man, everybody thought they had that shit in the bag. And then after game one, I remember going over Meech's crib like, y'all niggas in trouble. I remember that fucking moment. Like, y'all niggas in trouble now. And them niggas wasn't saying nothing. They was quiet as hell. They was
hell
like,
yeah.
They were like, it's just game one, man. It's just game one. I'm like, nah, y'all in trouble.
Yeah. I kind of saw it early, too. I was like, fuck, man. What the hell?
I think they did, too. They didn't want to say nothing. But I was like, yeah, man. But, yeah, all right, man. Y'all go ahead and finish up, man. I know I'm about to get up out of here pretty soon, too.
All right, man.
All right.
Peace.
That just reminded me, Kobe stopped Melo from getting to the NBA Finals in 2009. I was like, ain't that about a bitch? Yeah. But nah, shout out to
all right. Yeah.
Mike, I saw some people saying to read LeBron, something he posted.
Yes, I did see that. So, we're going to close out the show with that. This is I'm calling it audible, Kobe only show.
All right.
So it's only right, man. So yeah. So I'm gonna read LeBron's Instagram post that he finally posted about it. So yeah, he said, I'm not ready, but here I go. Man, I sitting here trying to write something for this post, but every time I try, I begin crying again. Just thinking about you, niece Gigi, and the friendship, bond, brotherhood we had. I literally just heard your voice Sunday morning before I left Philly to head back to LA. Didn't think for one bit in a million years that would be the last conversation we had. WTF. I'm heartbroken and devastated, my brother. Heart emojis, and a sad face emoji. Man, I love you, bit bro. My heart goes to Vanessa and the kids. I promise you I'll continue your legacy, man. You mean so much to us all here, especially Laker Nation, and it's my responsibility to put this shit on my back and keep it going. Please give me the strength from the heavens above and watch over me. I got us here. There's so much more I want to say, but just can't right now because I can't get through it. Until we meet again, my brother. Mamba for life, GT for life.
See, shit like that, bro.
Yeah, that's the one. Especially like that, man. And he was in LeBron before that game, after that Philly game, that post game press conference. He was like, bruh, like Kobe when I was 15, when I got to Philly, man, he was the first one to give me, he acknowledged me as a 15-year-old. Like, and then I pass him as I'm in Philly. Like that's just that. I don't know. Shout out to LeBron on that. You can't
like a movie, man. Like you can't write that. So.
Nah, man. This what I mean, dude. Like it's Kobe Bryant, bro.
I know, man.
Like it's Kobe. It's Kobe Bryant, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right, that's gonna do it for us this week, man. We'll catch you guys next time, man. We out. Peace.
All right.
Yeah, man, I can't do that shit, bro. Nike suspended the sales of Kobe Bryant related products. They took it all offline today.
Yeah.
To keep the resellers from.
Yeah.